freed men, who are people who have been slaves but have been freed, they've been manumitted, and finally slaves. Only the top senators are patricians, everybody else is a pleb. But the key there is, even if you're a slave, you can actually earn your money, earn your way out of slavery through earning money or through good service. And it's very common to be manumitted. So a Roman Emperor, Pertinax, was the son of a slave who became the Emperor of Rome. Ben-Hur is one of the biggest movies of all time. It's a spectacular blockbuster. It's Hollywood at its best. Huge amounts of money thrown at it. I give it 7 out of 10. It is a good movie. So the way that the native British are far more of Britain instead of Brigantes from either side of the war. They're very well portrayed here. They're exceptionally well portrayed here. And they've got the right hand accurately, very, very good. Right hand accurately. You can see also very accurately how high up the pommel is of the Gladius Hispaniensis, actually, and that's to allow it to be drawn in a very specific fencing technique, so the blade flips up. Formations holding. This is elite military training, using elite military equipment of the day. Cool. Very, very, very well represented. With the narrative of the movie based on Roman but making it a really, really good one. Even for a Roman military historian like me, who can get very picky, I just think this is fabulous. And they're now reforming while in combat, which elite military troops, including legions of the Principate, could do. Legions have been freed, told to pick up a weapon, because you don't want to carry anybody when you're in a military situation like that, with huge amounts of jeopardy. I can't remember if the chariots have got sides or not. If they haven't got sides, I'll be pleased, because they should have sides. Key piece of technology are the sides. Many people do think actually that these chariots actually weren't shot weapons at all, but they were backwards attached to allow an aristocrat to ride up and down a Roman line or on a Polish line.
Shit, we the fuck down. Got him.
So in terms of the Romans engaging the natives of the far north of Britain, they would have got nowhere near the Scottish Highlands. And in actual fact, this is portraying the Britons that Channing Tatum's characters engage with in the scene as being on the Western Isles, and there's no way the Romans would have got anywhere near that.
What am I doing? Like, I don't got a herd horse.
So here, there's no way on earth that the Aquila Eagle Standard of the 9th Legion that's meant to be here, based on Roman such as the Eagle of the Ninth, would have found its way all the way through to the Western Isles. To the Romans, it was very clear. You were either part of the civilized world, i.e. in the Roman Empire, or you were in Barbarica. You were outside the Roman Empire. So to them, you're in or out, that's it. And the interesting thing for us, of course, is that we see things differently. So we see things through the prism of, on the one hand, 19th century and early 20th century imperialism and the way that the world's portrayed and the world of the past is portrayed through that. So if you were to look, for example, at the representation of the barbarians, the bad guys in the movie The Eagle, it's a great example actually. Painted, other, different. In actual fact, the way the Romans would have engaged across Hadrian's Wall or the Antonine War with the peoples of the far north of Britain would have been an absolutely normal part of their life, and the people they're engaging with were just northern Britain. How could you go wrong with the story of the Eagle of the Ninth? Rosemary Sutcliffe's blockbuster, sort of from the early 1950s, and there's generations of children who've grown up and their first learning about the Roman world is reading her amazing book about the lost eagle, the Eagle of the Ninth, which in this movie, The Eagle, with Channing Tatum, is beautifully recreated. It's very faithful to the book. I love the book. I've actually written my own book about what happened to the Ninth Legion, and I reference the movie in my book. I say in my book, this is actually a very good recreation of what the Roman military would have been like at this time. The battle scene is nailed on, it's spot on, particularly the physical training of the Roman soldiers, the legionaries, that really is nailed on. There are aspects of it which aren't as good, say for example, the fact that the movie has the natives of the far north of Britain in the Scottish Isles or the Highlands. Well, that wasn't the case, but mostly this is a great movie actually, and I will give this movie 9 out of 10.
Check out the History Hit YouTube, where you can get great exclusive videos and a sneak peek at what's available on the world's best history channel, History Hit TV. It's growing really fast. We're thrilled to have you all aboard.
Kilts is a strong choice.
Let's go.
That's the laziest warfare I've ever seen. You shouldn't have moved first, Jamaica. Told you. It makes for fantastic film, but probably not. I'm Matt Lewis, co-host of the Gone Medieval podcast and medieval historian. Today, we're going to review some battle scenes from medieval movies.
No Persians actually were filmed in the making of this film. Oh, I love that in mind. When I meet veterans of D-Day, I ask them what it was like, and it's amazing how many of them say, just go and watch the opening scene of Sacred Cow. All in all, just a completely horrific depiction. Hi, my name's Dan Snow. I'm a military history expert. Today I'm going to pick out 6 of my favourite battle scenes from Hollywood history. These are the ones that, despite a few inaccuracies, I think give us a real sense of what it might have been like to be on one of these terrible battlefields. Alexander. Battle of Gargamella, 331 BC. There's Alexander the Great. That must be his companion cavalry. A lot of attention paid to historical accuracy in this film. Brilliant. Look, you've got the sarissas, those long 6-metre spears wielded by the infantrymen, the heavily armed Macedonian infantrymen, the best infantrymen in the world. Oh, those must be the Persians, slightly less well armed. But yes, Alexander leads his cavalry in this mad dash to the right wing. Everyone's like, what's he doing? He is about to change direction stunningly and completely wrong foot the Persian army. Persian leadership looking a little bit eyeshadowy and sort of effeminate. That's, I think, a sign of the kind of slight racism of the film's producers there. No Persians actually were filmed in the making of this film. Here come the chariots. This is interesting. Darius III did have chariots, and he flattened the battlefield, taken all obstacles away, bushes and anything that was in the way, to make sure he had a good playing field for his chariots. The Persians would have been less well armed, but actually the best armed groups in the Persian army would have been the mercenary Greeks fighting against their Greek countrymen who were under Alexander the Great. They would have been heavily armoured, and there would have been a proper infantry clash. Darius' empire was massive, extended from India, well, to the Mediterranean, and so you had people, Bactrians, Armenians, they had troops from India, they had Arab tribesmen, so they would have been riding the camels. So it was a very multicultural army. Oh yeah, they made gaps, they made channels in the big phalanx, in the Macedonian phalanx, to let the chariots in, and they end up in this cul-de-sac, in this dead end, where they're